and the next were Mexican Americans, and the other was Jews, and the fourth was Chinese, and even some drunk cowboys. The reality is that when we lift the floor for how you treat black folks in this country, we lift the floor for how you treat everybody. And as we stand here today, almost a year to the day that our country celebrated ending the 233-year color line at the White House, color barrier at the White House. You ever notice the house is white, but the fence is black? So a message there, right? Yeah. Celebrated that we know that our battle since the end of Brown to desegregate politics in this country, that the victories that brought us everybody from Ed Brooks in Massachusetts to Jim Clyburn in South Carolina to Barack Obama at the White House, didn't just result in better leadership for the black community, it resulted in better leadership for America. For America. And so when we sue the banks, as we're suing 15 banks right now, the claim in the case may be racism, but the cure is for every American, because what they start with us, they finish with everybody. When we fight for good schools, we ain't just fighting for black children, we are fighting for all children. When we fight for health care coverage, yes, motivated many of us because, quite frankly, when 880,000 black people die in the past decade for lack of real health care reform, there's a lot of folks in this crowd who know somebody who died. And that may motivate us, but we know we're fighting for every American family. Because every family knows somebody in the 46 million, loves somebody in the 46 million who don't have health care right now. And let me just, while we're talking about healthcare, just talk about a conversation I had last night with Jim Clyburn. You know, whenever I land in South Carolina, I give Jim a call. I've known him for years, and I said, Jim's in Michigan today, and I said, Jim, you know, what's on your mind? He said, well, you know, while you're over there at the state capitol, if you could just take a moment and help our state legislators better understand the Constitution, I would really appreciate it. Because we got this black Republican who's eager to pass a law that would make it impossible to enact a public option in South Carolina, but there ain't no public option left in the bill. And then we got this Attorney General who's fixing to bring a lawsuit because he's angry about the Medicare reimbursement formula, because how well Nebraska's being treated by the Senate. Well, remind them a law has to pass both houses before it becomes law. And by the time it does, every state will be treated the same. So, maybe Joe Wilson. Maybe Joe Wilson could spend a little less time tarnishing the U.S. Congress and the presidency, and a little more time explaining to his former colleagues here how the Constitution works. You know, it is an honor here to be joined by these two families, by Robina Hayes and her three kids, Justin, James, and Jordan, and by Michael Roger, who I saw out there in the crowd. He showed up to the protest the way I show up to protest, with my 4-year-old on my shoulders, with his kids, Kate and Aiden, ages 3 and 7. This is a fight for all of our families here in South Carolina. It is a fight for the dignity of all of our children to get this flag off that pole.
Okay, well, okay.
You know, the point of this day is that we are not just here for Dr. King's dream, because his dream was not his alone. We aren't just here because of Obama's dream or Lincoln's dream. We're here ultimately because of the dream of the founders of this great country. See, the most radical phrase in the history of religion is the commandment that Jesus gave to his disciples. Love your neighbors as I loved you. Love your neighbors as yourself. And the most radical phrase in all of politics is derived directly from it. It is simply all men, all people, all women are created equal. and endowed with certain inalienable, that means they can't take them from you, rights.
But it has 3 hours of video.
Among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. That is why we are here today. See, because you can't be minimally adequate and pursue happiness.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You can't be minimally adequate and live a full life. There's no such thing as minimally adequate liberty. Either you're free or you ain't. And the first step is a good education. That is the point. Now do me a favor, just do me one more favor. Look to somebody next to you and say, you are beautiful.
You're beautiful. Oh, you're beautiful.
And look the other way, the person you just ignored, and say, you are beautiful. All right, and if you got a sign that says, I am human, hold it up. Hold it up. Hold it up with pride, because that's what that sign means. It means you are made in the image of the one who created you. It means you are endowed with all the rights therein. It means you are as equal, as strong, as beautiful, as wonderful, as deserving of respect as anybody here today or not here today.
Family that's staying flyer from South Carolina.
Yeah, if I can get any more, I was turning off your battery.
It means in this crowd, most likely you're connected to somebody overseas.
I'll plug it back in.
I hope we are all praying for them.
Yeah, I just
Like
gotta go
Rabina's
over there and
husband.
get
It means that you are connected to the people of Haiti. It means that you are my brother, you are my sister, you are my neighbor. And even if you are the stranger on the road, that we at the NAACP will fight for you. In summary, we are human, we are each other's brothers and sisters. We are all called to love one another and to act on that love. We are American, which means that we fight for our rights and we demand respect. And we are the NAACP, which means we always win in the end. It is only a matter of time, and time for 100 years has been on our side. And we ain't gonna stop now. All right. Fired up!
Ready to go!
Fired up!
Ready to go!
Fired up!
Ready to go!
Si se puede! Si se puede!
Si se puede!
Si se puede!
Si se puede!
The folks say people in South Carolina can't speak Spanish. God bless.